Hi everybody, it's Ian here and welcome to another edition of We Brave Leaders podcast and video series. Today we're going to be looking at how to avoid the 5 mistakes that new leaders make. Because starting a new leadership role is both exciting and overwhelming. The first 90 days are crucial to get right. And leaders tend to stumble due to 5 common mistakes: trying to do too much too soon, neglecting relationships, failing to adapt to new cultures, and really just missing out on the small wins and reflection. So let's look at what those 5 mistakes are and how to use the braver leadership framework to overcome them. Let's look at them now. So hey, you got the job. And now the hard work begins. Because anticipation quickly morphs into a wave of excitement and a weight of expectation. Because whether you're just starting out on a new leadership role or you're contemplating a change, you want that transition to be the best it can ever be for you. Because those 90 days, the first 90 days, are absolutely critical. Because there's no time to lose. Because you can never get back the privilege of being that new kid on the block. And because those 90 days are something that you will never get back. And all of that calls on you to be a braver leader. And if that sounds good, let's have a look at how you can be just that. Oh my goodness, it's all happening so fast. Did you know the average process for hiring someone in the UK is 56 days? Now, assuming that you're the lucky one that got the job, by the time you factored in handing in your notice, leaving the old place in good shape for your successor, please do that because we don't want you setting fire to the place after you've gone, completed your referencing, completed vetting, it can easily take 90 days before you even get to start. And naturally during that time, you give that new role a lot of thought. The anticipation is building. They've been expecting you. They've been waiting for you. They've been anticipating your arrival. You're under pressure to prove yourself, to build trust, to create momentum. And like a nervous runner on the starting block, facing down the line into that 100-metre sprint, you hear the starting pistol, and what should be the best sprint of your life becomes a fumble and a stumble of misplaced energy. Now, there are 5 most common avoidable mistakes that new leaders can make in transition, and today we're going to be exploring how to use the braver framework to stay clear of them. So without further ado, let's look at mistake number 1, which is trying to do too much too soon. Most leaders arrive on the job with a dream list of things that they want to get stuck into. Yet all too quickly, they start to discover a long list of things that were left behind by their predecessor. It's tempting to hit the ground running and show everyone that their trust and faith in hiring you has been rewarded by a new superhero arrives on the scene, tackling and solving every problem in sight. But it often leads to spreading yourself too thin, leading to distraction, a lack of focus, of burnout, and also diluted impact. So braver actions here would be focusing in on a set number of key priorities that will create the biggest impact. Be really strict with this number. If you have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, then 10 is a good maximum number. Use the first 30 days to observe, listen, and learn. If you spot something else that needs to be a new priority, be ruthless and shift something else down to number 11 and out of the way. Break your 90 days into 30, 60 and 90-day plans so that you get a mix of early quick wins leading up to longer term strategies. Your braver insight is start off and prioritise by building relationships with your team and your stakeholders, because understanding their perspectives will help you identify what truly matters and where to spend your energy. Number 2 is about neglecting relationships. In the rush to deliver results, many new leaders overlook the importance of building trust and rapport with their teams and peers. Now, the age of the mega corporation is over. You know, that kind of organisation where you could just tell somebody, this is what I want everybody in the company to do. These days, power is distributed across an organisation. You can have the best ideas, but if you can't find the source of power, politics, and resource, nothing will actually get done. So if you want results, you have to invest in relationships, avoiding misunderstandings and missed opportunities, because that is how things will get done. Braver actions here would be to get your one-on-one meeting scheduled in early. Be curious about your team's challenges and goals and expectations. Listen a lot, talk a lot less. Listen not just to words, but also to the meaning behind them. Pay attention particularly where words and behaviour don't match up, because remember, you're nervous, but also the team around you are probably quite nervous too. There is a temptation on their behalf to tell you what they think you'd like to hear. So be careful with how much you give away, listen lots, and talk less. Braver insights here are about relationships, because relationships are the foundation of your leadership success. So prioritise energising and empowering others by recognising their contribution, including the things they did under your predecessor, and involving them in decision making. Great, let's look at the next one now, which is about failing to adapt to the new culture. Now, every organisation has its own unique culture, norms, unwritten rules, values. And leaders that charge ahead without taking the time to understand these nuances really risk alienating their teams or making missteps, but fundamentally stand out. Now, does that mean rolling over on your principles? Well, no, of course not. But take care to pay respect to the old guard. Now, you may see a way of improving things. You may see a way of improving other people's work. You may not necessarily agree with decisions made by your predecessor, but the people around you are probably priding themselves on the things that they did under that leader. So pay attention and respect to the old guard, but also notice and work with the flow. Share your opinions on how you think things can be improved upon the work that they've already done so far, because working with the flow will get you there so much faster. So spend time observing and learning about the organisation's culture. Pay attention to how decisions are made, how people communicate, and what behaviours are valued. And your braver insight here is about using the principle of resilience and reflection to assess your approach and adjust as needed. Flexibility is really key to aligning with your organisation's dynamics. We're doing well on these mistakes, but mistake number 4 is about avoiding feedback. Now, you wouldn't do that one to me because you're listening to this podcast. And yet many leaders shy away from seeking feedback in their early days. They fear it might expose their weakness. But what I want to encourage you to do is to see feedback as a perspective, not necessarily a truth. Perspective helps you to understand how those you will be working with think and what they value. It doesn't necessarily mean to say you have to act on that perspective, but understanding how other people think is a great clue that's super useful as a leader. And even if you don't share those values as those people who are around you, it's better to know than not know at all. So braver actions here are about being proactive. Proactively ask for feedback from your team, your peers, your line managers. Frame it as a desire to grow and align with expectations. Learn to see feedback as a perspective and choose to act on that perspective when it actually helps you. So the braver insight is reframe challenges. It's easy to see feedback as criticism, but instead if you reframe feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than criticism, that allows you to refine your leadership style and build trust. And it sets a tone for your team too, an expectation of growth through feedback. pitfall number 5 is overlooking the small wins. Yup, in pursuit of big picture goals, leaders often neglect the small victories that build momentum and morale, and this can lead to frustration, but also a sense of panic that progress isn't visible, which then affects the quality of your decision making and tempts you into taking decisions which are more tactical and cosmetic rather than fundamental to the new role that you're taking on board. Big goals take time to define and even more time to get right. Smaller wins allow you also to build patience and space around the bigger goals and better judgment. So, braver actions would be celebrating small wins, both for yourself and your team, recognizing progress no matter how incremental, and using it to fuel motivation and provide perspective on days that just don't go quite as well as you'd expect. And braver insights would be to visualize success by setting achievable goals and sharing them with your team. Small wins create a positive ripple effect that boosts confidence and engagement. So in today's podcast, we've been talking about the Braver Framework, which is my step-by-step approach designed to help leaders in their first 90 days grow and thrive, even in challenging situations. And it stands for B, building relationships, so connecting with your team, peers and stakeholders to establish trust and collaboration. R is for reframing challenges, connecting with your team, your peers, your stakeholders to establish trust and collaboration. R is for reframing challenges, shifting your mindset from fear and self-doubt and really seeing opportunities for growth in this new role that you're taking on board. Then we have acting with energy, staying flexible and open as you navigate the new environment, visualizing success, so really identifying those small meaningful wins that build confidence for you, energizing and empowering others, and then that all-important resilience and reflection, taking time to assess what's working, what's not, and how to improve. So today we've been looking at 5 pitfalls that leaders commonly make. And of course your first 90 days are the opportunity to set the stage for your leadership success. By avoiding these common mistakes and embracing the Braver Framework, you can navigate this transition with confidence and clarity. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. A leader who thinks they're perfect almost certainly isn't. So focus on building relationships, staying adaptable, and empowering your team. Because every step you take closer to being a braver leader will not only benefit your first 90 days, but it will set the foundation for being a thriving leader in your future career. Now, we all live in times that are asking us to navigate uncertainty, make tough decisions, resolve challenges quickly and with confidence. In short, we all need braver leaders. And I'm a professional coach with years of experience, and I spend my time helping rising leaders prepare for and nail those first 90 days, becoming braver, building confidence, navigating the challenges of leadership with clarity and also resilience. In the links below, you can sign up to the Braver Leaders newsletter, and you'll get actionable insights to help you in your inbox, which will help you on your leadership journey. And as my gift to you to get you started and really nail those first 90 days is my imposter syndrome workbook, which I'm just gifting to you if you want to sign up to the We Brave Leaders newsletter. And of course, you can find loads more insight, information and resources to help you on your journey at webraveleaders.com. But that's it for now. I wish you every success. Bye-bye.